California public land hunter. This is about my Mendocino deer hunting trip. I was up here with a compound bow during bow season. And what happened was, is I came into Mendocino National Forest. I came in out of Stonyford. And I came up and over, and I came down into the Stonyford recreational area. And I was just coming through the recreational area where you start to climb up again, heading towards Les Lake, when I spotted this buck. My car filled with camping gear. I haven't even made it to my camp yet. And here's this really nice forking horn sitting about 125 yards off the road. So I had backed up and I pulled off into this gravel parking lot. And well, here's the video. I need to check my onyx because I think this is public land. Nice forking horn. Okay, I checked. That buck is still bedded. About 100 yards. And I'm gonna go after it. I'm not even gonna change my clothes. Put this rangefinder on, grab my bow. See if I can get on it. I haven't made it even where I was gonna camp, and I'm already on a buck. At this point, I had backed up into the lot, and the buck couldn't see where I was at. I had trees and bushes in the way. The buck was a little bit higher than me, so what I was gonna do is I was gonna drop down and then wrap around him, putting trees and bushes in between us. Before this field stock, I had one field stock in Knoxville, if you've seen that video. And in the Knoxville buck, I didn't feel like I was aggressive enough. With this buck, I wanted to be more aggressive and move in on him, even though that I'd know he'd see me from the road. It didn't work out. Yeah, he jumped up. My wind was pretty bad. Plus, he seen me from the road, seen me back up. Might have rushed it a little bit. So don't get me wrong, road hunting isn't something that I normally do, but in California, if you're on public land and an opportunity like that presents itself, you should take it if you could do it legally. I had that buck ranged at 60 yards. All I was gonna do is come around that bush and take a shot at it, and I couldn't make it around, and he'd had enough and he was gone. So I eventually made my way up to the cabin that I'd be staying at just a little bit south of Letts Lake. Well, you can't blame a guy for trying. I mean, you see a legal buck off the road on public land. It's a no-brainer, man. I made a stalk on him. But, so anyways, I made it to the cabin I'm going to be staying at, which brings me to Jerry Tafton. Jerry Tafton was gracious enough to let me use his cabin for a week. I want to say, hey, Jerry, I really appreciate it. This cabin is friggin' awesome, inside and out. And if I get a buck on this trip, I'm definitely sending some meat your way. Well, I just got back from scouting and bad news. I can't get my vehicle up to Summit Valley. That's where I was trying to hunt. Summit Valley is south of Letts Lake. It's up in the summit. It's a valley in the summit. Therefore, it's called Summit Valley. And I can't get my vehicle there. I just can't do it. I need a four-wheel drive with high clearance, the way the road is right now. So that was really disappointing because that was the whole reason I'd been through there. I'd been through there one other time, just driven through. But I've asked about it from other people, and they say, oh, yeah, during archery season, you can get some bucks in there. So that kind of blew that. So what I did is I went back down to where I put a stalk on that buck this morning coming in. And I pulled over up high, and I glassed that whole creek that comes through. I glassed the area where he's bedded. I jumped him up. He ran across that little road, and then he ran across a field and into that creek. And that creek comes and winds all the way back into that canyon. So I found a couple spots that I would like to be at first light. That's one of my options for in the morning. Or my second option, I guess, is I could just take off right out of the cabin and go up and over this ridge and go over there and poke around and look for some deer trails, some signs. I've never been back in there, but, you know, you never know. So that's my two options for tomorrow morning. I'm really disappointed that I'm not going to be able to get back in there.
It's the fire in the rain. It's the smile within the pain. It's the logic but insane. You cannot know from where it came. It's the way you cross the floor before you head on out the door. It's the figure on the wall. So many times I heed the call. It's the silence of the room, the way you turn before you bloom. Another shadow for the blind. I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still. Can't remember far too many of us here. A crowded planet full of fear. It's not the way it's meant to be. We should be happy living free. Although I'm running up a hill, I feel I'm always standing still. Can't remember where I've been. I don't know where I should begin. 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 I don't know where I should begin.
Well, hey folks, so this morning I woke up early and I went down to where I got a stalk on that buck yesterday. And I sat up high and I glassed for 3 hours. And I went down and got up on the other side and glassed into it. Nothing. Why that buck was there, I have no idea. That is a heavily used OHV area and people camp out all around there. So I think that was just a fluke occurrence. But, you know, the whole reason I came up here to Mendocino, this part of Mendocino, is I wanted to hunt Summit Valley. And I just can't get up there. So I'm weighing my options, you know. I mean, it's great staying in this cabin and all, you know, but the thing is I'm just not confident that I'm going to be seeing any bucks up here. I've hunted a few areas up here and I've seen one buck out of maybe 4 hunts. Back down in the Knoxville Cache Creek area, I'm getting the bucks all the time, as you've seen in the videos before. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pack up. I know I'm going to leave the cabin. Do you believe it? I mean, I could just easily turn this into a fishing trip and go fish Les Lake. But man, it's hunting season. It's archery season, and I haven't shot a deer with a compound bow yet. And that's all I want to do. And so I'm just going to have to cut this trip short, and I'm going to have to head on back down and start thumping on that Cache Creek, Knoxville area and try to get me a buck there. But before I go, once again, I want to thank Jerry Tapton for the cabin. I really appreciate it, man. It's really nice here. I'd also like to thank a contributor to the channel, David B. David B contributed to the channel. I just want thanks, man. I appreciate it. And if you ever get back into California, message me and we'll try to hook up. If you'd like to make a contribution to the channel and help keep me on the road, you'll find a PayPal me link in the description box. I've done other Mendocino videos out of Let's Lake. I'm going to leave a link for them in the description box. No, that's about it. I'm going to be packing up and I'm going to get on the road. If you like the content of this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you next time on California Public Land Hunter. See you.